me again, your favorite person that you haven't seen in like 15 years, because I have been slacking on talking. I'm not gonna even make up no excuse. I just been slacking like it ain't nothing. So, it is what it is. But I'm back with another shorty. Yes, it's me, Indy, aka it's Goddess to you. If you don't know me, just say what's up, Goddess, and I'll speak. Anywho, I am back with another shorty, and I want to talk about boundaries. Now, a lot of people don't know that there's a lot of different types of boundaries. You have time boundaries, you have spiritual boundaries, you have emotional boundaries, you have sexual boundaries, you have financial boundaries, you have communication boundaries, you have physical boundaries, you have intellectual boundaries. You have a lot of different type of boundaries, and a lot of times if you don't set those boundaries, then those boundaries get crossed, and you'll start realizing your boundaries as you go on with life, and as you start to figure out like, hey, yo, I can't, like, this ain't making me feel good. So when it starts to not make you feel good, then a boundary is being crossed. When it starts to mess with your mental or physical or emotional or spiritual or financial or living health, it is a problem. And a lot of times we don't speak on boundaries because we already put it in our heads like, oh my God, if I speak on this boundary, then I'm gonna make someone feel some type of way, or it's gonna cause conflicts, or I'm gonna hurt someone's feelings, or it's going to make life harder, or I'm gonna lose friends, and family won't speak to me, and maybe co-workers and things like that will have an issue with me. We got to get out of that, because we got to start putting us first, right? We got to start setting our standards when it comes to us. Like, this is what works for me and my life. This is what's going to make my life easier. This is what's going to make me happy. This is what is going to add to my joy. It doesn't matter how you feel about my boundaries, but this is my boundaries. If you cross it, then now I have to stand on my boundary. And a lot of times we do put down like, oh, I have this boundary, and this is my boundary, and don't cross this boundary. You have the conversations with your friends, your family, even your partner, your job. If you are bold enough to have that conversation with your job, hopefully y'all are getting to the mature point to know that, my job this is my job. This ain't my life, and my personal life and everything is within it comes first, because you have to take care of you, right? So hopefully y'all get to that point with your jobs. But anyways, when you have those conversations and you start to realize like, darn, y'all are really like not respecting my boundaries, then what do you do? A lot of people just be like, you know what, I'll just let that shit slide, whatever. Like, okay, it is what it is, what's up, like, or okay, what do I need to do, or blah blah blah. Well, again, that's disrespecting yourself, because now you're not even standing on those boundaries. You're not standing on it. So when you create that boundary, you got to be ready to stand on that. Like, you got to stand on it, point blank, period. And I'm talking to me too, because I started to realize, like, I started to set up time boundaries. Like I tell people, please don't contact me before 12. The reason why is because the time that I wake up till 12 o'clock, I am feeding me. I am feeding myself with knowledge. I am feeding myself with self-care. I am feeding myself with love. I am spending time with me during this time. During this time, there is no negativity. There is only positivity. There's high vibrations. There's divine feminine energy being poured into me from me. I don't have time for it. I am listening to my podcast. Whether it is spiritual, whether it is emotional, whether it is financial, whether it's a business podcast, at this time I am into this particular thing. And before 12, I am not at the mental capacity to have conversations. Still, people would call. And to this day, it's still happening, right? Because they done got comfortable enough to be like, yeah, I'm going to call you at this time. Oh, well, bye. Like, no. Unless it's an emergency and you're fucking dying, don't call me. So now it's back to, this is my boundary. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't, please. Don't. Okay? It's for my mental health. Also, there was a point, the communication boundaries, where I'm like, hey, I don't want to communicate continuously about negative things, right? If you have low vibrational and negative things going on in your life and it's consistent, I don't want to hear it. If you're going to talk to me, if you're going to be in my life because of the vibration that I'm on, I'm going to need you to talk to me about other things with substance in it. What I mean by substance is business stuff. Like, what you got going on with business? Oh, let me talk to you about this business idea. Let me run something by you because maybe we can do some stuff together. Oh my God, like, I got this going on. Oh my God, like, you know, this person, I seen them doing this and it gave me this idea. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's talk about things that's going to help us grow. You know, let's have the conversations this deep about emotions and healing. Like, oh, I'm on this healing journey. What type of advice do you have? Let's talk about healing. Let's talk about being in our divine femininity and how I can assist you with being in your divine femininity. Let's talk about things like that. Let's talk about a trip away from what we are used to, which is home. Let's go see the world and let's go make new experiences and things like that. Let's talk about things like that. I don't always want to hear about he say, she say. I don't always want to hear about what done hurt you. I don't always want to talk to you when you're low vibrational. I don't want to do it because it is draining. Yes, I'm at this point to where I am an empath. I am. But I have transitioned to my divine femininity. So I am now at the point to where I am a healer. So I can hear stuff. I won't take it on. And I'll be empathetic because I feel where you coming from, but let me assist you here. And sometimes it may come off as being like rude or just like nonchalant or no feelings or whatever the case may be. But in reality, it's more so like, I'm going to heal you, so we don't have to continue to have this conversation. Now, don't get me wrong with my friends and family. Of course, I'm here to assist you. Of course, I'm a lending ear. But if it's the same shit over and over and over again, I say this all the time. Don't keep on coming to me with that. I'm going to tell you what to do, and you're going to figure it out. Now, if it don't work and you continuously going through that, I don't want to hear it. I'm sorry. I apologize. Let's get through this by yourself. Because it's multiple times where I've done got through shit by myself. Now, it's been some times where I done needed some people. And if I need you, you know, like, yo, she really, like, she need us right now. Because I know where it's a boundary for me I know myself enough to where I know, like, damn, this is finna get me into a deep, dark place that I don't want to go back to. I'm on this healing journey, but ain't nobody perfect. You feel me? Now, there is times where I find myself maybe taking on something because of how I am connected with a person. Like, for instance, a partner. Like, I'm connected. Yes, I'm gonna feel that shit. Like, you got him messed up. What we doing here? You feel me? But there's a difference, and I'm still learning on how to, when I'm feeling those things, it's like, okay, damn, let me figure out how I can get away from being so taking it on and feeling it and getting into it to, okay, it's cool, like, I can help you. Boom. So that's another type of boundary. We got sexual boundaries and stuff. I'm gonna have to pause this real quickly. I'm finna go into my office. I gotta clock in, and then I'm gonna finish this in my office. So give me a second.
6 months later.
Okay, so I'm back. So yeah, we got the sexual boundaries. Let's talk about the financial boundaries. Where people just, I had somebody to hit me up that I don't even talk to no more. Don't call and check up on me. Don't be on none of that. Talking about some, can I borrow some money until I get paid? That's how I know that I don't have enough boundaries, especially when it comes to financial. I've always been that person where people can call me and ask me for money, because obviously in my life, money grows on trees, and I'm always there to provide it. But for some reason, I don't get it back. And I think people forget, like, I'm a mommy. I do it by myself. Literally. Like, no help. None. Not an inch. So it's like, I don't get it. Like, do you forget, like, I got real life bills over here. My rent is probably double your rent. So, come on now, y'all. So, anyways, that's when you start to realize, like, dang, I need to set this boundary. Because a lot of times people will come to you and they will drain you. They will drain you of every single thing that you have. Not just financially, but physically and emotionally and spiritually and mentally. They will drain you if you don't set your boundaries. You have to have your boundaries set up. You have to have those boundaries where if you don't want to talk about politics, like, okay, this is a boundary. I don't talk about politics. And then someone keeps going. It's like, hey, I just told you that I don't talk about politics. Let's move on to the next subject, or we don't have to talk at all. There is boundaries about spiritual. Like, I don't talk about spirituality and I don't talk about religion because there is a point to where people get very hurt or just emotional or whatever you want to call it behind it. And it's like, I don't talk about it because my views on things is totally different from your views. I'm more woke. I'm woke. I see things differently. I do things differently. I move differently. The way that you talk to God is not the same way I talk to God. I believe God lives within me. I believe God is a higher power. I believe God is a spirit. He's an entity. Well, it's an entity. God is not a he or a she, just to be clear. It's not a human. I can't pray to something that's me. Okay. It's something that is powerful. So I don't talk about spirituality or religion. I'm not a religious person. We're not going to have this conversation about religion because there's some things that may strike you and then you want to strike back, and it's like, I'm not even here to fight you. I'm here to educate you on what I know, and then again, I may not know enough to even help you and educate you. So it's like, I'm still learning myself on certain things, but there are certain things that I do know, and I'm not going to have this conversation, so you have those type of conversations or those type of boundaries where you're like, no, we not doing this. We not on that. Like I said, the emotional stuff, like, that comes back to communication. All of this is like big with communication boundaries because everything you have to communicate in some type of way. So you have to make sure that you're setting that communication boundary, if nothing else. If nothing else, you're setting that communication boundary. Even with the time, like, okay, you set a boundary where for these hours out the day, this is my time. Like, respect my time. Or, again, respecting my time. Like, don't tell me, like, hey, I'm gonna book something with you, and then you don't even respect my time enough to be there on time, or you just don't show up, or you don't communicate that you can't come. That's a boundary for me. Respect my time. Respect it. Time does not exist, but it does. It does. Because I make my own type of definition for time. Yeah, so respect it. That's all I got to say. So don't cross that boundary. There's so many different boundaries in this world that we have to learn to talk about, communicate about. Because if you don't communicate about a boundary, no one will ever know about your boundary. You have to be able to communicate about relationship boundaries. When you're dating, what's your boundaries? What line do you not cross? Okay, I had to learn that. Like, I'm monogamous. Like, sir, if I'm dealing with you, then I need you to be dealing with me, not other entities, not other spirits. That's just who I am, especially when sex gets involved. It's like, yo, like, don't do that, because I believe in transferring spirits. I believe in that. I believe that you can transfer spirits from even just conversations. When people put those conversations on you and you take them on and you don't have that healing to give them back, then that is a transfer of spirits when you go to the next person, because now you're transferring that emotion that you done took on from someone else just from the conversation. You feel me? I believe that women are so open, especially when you're in your divine femininity and you're intuitive and things. And you feel everything. Like, women feel everything. So even down to the point to where when there is sex involved and you're doing something with someone and you start to feel some type of way, that's a transfer of spirits. When you're like, people be like, oh, I knocked him out, I knocked her out. Like, okay, is she sleeping peacefully? Because yes, sometimes sex can tire you out, but you should get some type of energy, some type of boost that be like, ooh, I feel good after this. Not, damn, the next day I got an attitude, I feel drained, I don't want to do nothing. Like, why I feel like this? Transfer energy. Either that person is going through something, or that person is messing with someone who's going through something. Who knows? But that's why you have to set those type of boundaries. Point blank, period. You have to have boundaries in your life in order to live a healthy, divine, prosperous, high vibrational life. Okay? Okay. This is Bree. If you want to hear more about other type of boundaries, then just let me know. But remember to set your boundaries. Remember to stand on those boundaries. And remember to never let anyone cross those boundaries. And also, remember, it's not just about you. So if someone else have boundaries, then you listen to those boundaries, especially when you care about that person, especially when you love that person, especially when that person means something to you. And even as a stranger, because you have to give what you get what you give. It's reciprocation, right? So it's a law, right? So just remember to respect other people's boundaries as well. And remember to be able to have conversations about those boundaries. And each person has an understanding of the boundaries that they have. Respect it. And if those was to ever get crossed by you or by the other person doing it to you, then be able to have that conversation, be able to be understanding, because no one is perfect. And sometimes things happen in life and you just crossing that boundary, or you just don't get it, or you feel some type of way. Have that conversation, but then apologize, or allow that person to apologize. And the best apology is change to action. So anyways, I hope you receive this well. Peace, love, light, and all that other good stuff. Let me get to working. I love you guys. Continue to like, share, comment, subscribe to Bosses and Branches. I promise y'all I'm going to continue to talk more and give y'all more shorties, as I call it, 7 to 15 minutes of me and what knowledge I have. All right. Have an amazing Wednesday. It's hump day, y'all. It's hump day. All right.